Hi, Gemini. It's such an interesting month for you with some very good influences, with some more intense influences. It's just so much that's happening for Gemini in a big part of May because there are the eclipses. There is an eclipse affecting Gemini directly. And as we said, as we know, eclipses are life changers. And there is Jupiter there, which brings new opportunities. So now let's start. If you have your ascendant, sun, or moon in Gemini, well, first, the big part, especially from the end of April, so from the middle of April till the first 10, 15 days of May, there is a strong possibility that you will feel less energized than other times. You will feel like all the planets are in the 12th house from Gemini, which is like Taurus. So they're like finishing, the planets are finishing their cycle before they come into your sign again and start a new beginning into a life for the year at least. Symbolic new beginning for the year. But because they're in the last phase, there is more like retrieval of energy. There is, and it's 4 planets that go there. So there is more like taking away the interest from material things, from worldly affairs, from and more focusing the energy within on emotional issues. 12 houses to do with the imagination, with fantasy, with escaping reality, with rest. So some of you might feel like sleeping more. Some of you might feel like watching more TV, like fantasizing more, reading more romance, watching Game of Thrones more, fantasy, or just going on holidays. So it's a great time. Do that. If you can go on holiday in second part of April, first part of May, you will feel like that's about all you can do. People who are usually very busy in their career and who have a strong Gemini right now, for this month, for the big till the middle of May and the end of April, they will feel like their focus cannot stay too much on their career, especially if their career is to do with more practical things, with solving problems and things like that. If it's more imaginative career, it can actually flourish during this period because 12th house is a very imaginative, very dreamy house. If it's creative career, it can flourish as well with ideas. But otherwise, as we said, this energy of the material life is withdrawn into your inner world more. And it might create as well as, you might make you more sensitive. You might feel yourself like, oh, tearing up at some ad or at some, story that you read or just like some situations. But 12th house is a very compassionate house. So it triggers your compassion. So you might be much more willing to help others in this period and to be kinder to others. And I would urge you to do this, to go and spend time with people who need your help. Go and help someone fix something at home or help them with your resources, because 12th house is also the house of expenses. So if you do not do this by your own will, helping some others with your resources, with your time, with your energy, with your finances possibly, then it might come that life or the universe or whatever might bring some expenses to you out. So you might having to spend more money. Well, it might be spending it for something good, for some project or whatever, but you might feel like money's going out more from you during this, till the middle of May at least, because of this 12th house of expenses that is triggered in you. And as I said, you can off-put this by giving more of your energy, by being more benevolent and charitable willingly to others. And again, it's great time for private pleasures. 12th house rules in ancient astrology. It rules private secret pleasure or whatever. It's bed pleasures is one of the things. So it can be good time to shack up, make babies or whatever, or have some lovely affair, But it's more into the world of fantasy and dream and enjoyment type of thing. And some of you who are more prone to excesses like drinking and escaping reality, they might feel even more the pull towards those things that help them get get out of reality, get out of the material world somehow. So be careful with those areas, those. And then the planets from the middle, from the first 10, 15 days of May, are starting to move into your sign. So your energy all of a sudden from this kind of, oh, I just want to take it easy, or oh, I'm not feeling so up to it, you know, you all of a sudden in the second part of May, and the further it progresses into May, the planets, you get a vibe of aliveness, of beginning, of initiating. The new period starts with when all the planets are coming into your first house, and Venus will be there. So from some of you from the 10th onwards, not all of you immediately, not all of you if you have ascendance on the moon in Gemini immediately, but from the 10th onwards till the end of May, you might start feeling more beautiful, more loving and kind with Venus there, you know. Mercury is there, so your mind goes into your sign, Gemini, so your mind becomes more sparkly, more. Uh, Mercury is a very practical planet, so you become more on the ball, more witty, more being able to manage your daily affairs better. If you're a business person, being able to deal with your business things better, to organize business affairs better, to organize your life better, to be more efficient as well. You know, you get more on the ball. The focus comes all into your sign, so it's like bringing energy there. And the sun is there as well. The sun is very energizing, vitalizing planet, and of course Jupiter is there as well, which is like you're getting like three or four planets, 4 or 5 planets into your sign, Gemini. It's like woof, like this wave of energy. Sometimes actually it might be overwhelming because it might be too stressful when so much planets are coming into to affect you, you know. Some of you might be a bit shaking with all this thing, you know, because now all the planets are in Aries, and it's the beginning of April now, and I'm Aries, so it's a bit too much, you know. I'm feeling it's a bit stressful, but anyway, and. So it from the second part of May, I would strongly advise you, especially if you have your ascendant in Gemini, if you have Sun, to a lesser degree Moon in Gemini. If you wanted to start something, do it now. If you wanted to start a workout program to stick with, do it now. If you wanted to start a new business, do it now. Start doing steps towards it now. If you wanted to start a new venture that you didn't have the energy or the initiative before to do it now, because somehow all those planets will infuse you with energy to do it. But there is an eclipse happening also in your sign, Gemini. And as you know, eclipses can be life-changing because they take out the old and they bring in the new. Eclipses on the Earth, they affect the Earth by earthquakes often. You know, and it's like a symbolic little earthquake that can happen in your life. Not for all Gemini. I'll just give you the days now. Mostly for those who have their ascendant or moon from 0 to 8 degrees in Gemini, especially the fourth degree, the fourth, fifth, third degree, because this is where it's happening exactly, the eclipse at 4 degree in Sagittarius in the opposite sign, but you'll feel it as well. Or those who have their sun at 20, those who have their sun at those degrees, which means they're born from about the 23rd to about the 28th of May, plus minus a day or two, especially in the middle, like 26th, 27th, 25th of May, they will definitely feel this eclipse. And when it's happening on the sun, it means you're born on those days. The sun is your goals, path in life, your goals, your career, your plans for the future, you know, what you want to make happen. The sun is the solar energy as a masculine energy. What you can make with your own will happen. So it's our career, it's our goals, and the eclipse happening there might be some fears connected with your job. There might be sudden change in your circumstances in your career. There might be like emptying. You might be asked to let go of certain plans and goals or roles in your life that you play. The sun is the role that you play, what you most identify with as your role in life, you know, which is usually is the career. But even if you're not a career person, it's some aspect of you that you strongly identify with, that is part of your ego, that you think it's who you are. You might have to let go of one of those images or roles into your life when an eclipse comes, because it wants to make space for a new one. And actually, it might not happen that the new one comes immediately now in May. It might come further down throughout the year, maybe 2-3 months later or a few weeks later, you know. But the eclipse is just like a sign for you that there is changes happening there, that there is maybe some letting go, sometimes even through disappointment that happens. And when you let go of it, a new one will come. So don't worry. So eclipses, because they hide the sun, they hide the light from you. That's what an eclipse happens. And when it's on the sun or the ascendant or the moon, these are such important parts of your psychology. The moon is your emotional well-being, the sun is your role and goals in life, the ascendant is your path in life, you know. So there can be a reversal then. There might be a lot of fear and worries when an eclipse happens. So in April, part of May, you might feel it particularly strongly. Some worries to do with your life. Where am I heading? It's dark. I don't see. I have this feeling of fear. Whenever eclipses are happening, people start having those fears. You know, if it triggers the sun, ascendant, or moon. You know, so Gemini might be having this more fearful feeling there. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. But you have to trust the universe. You have to let go because it's a sign that big changes are coming in your life, you know. So don't succumb too much to negativity. Just accept it as a sign from above. It's big time change, big changes, you know. Uh, and interestingly as well, uh, there might be changes in your relationship, especially if you're ascendant. The eclipse is happening in your ascendant from 0 to 8 degrees, like sudden reversals, you know. Also in the moon, because the moon is an emotional planet, it's connected to relationships. But we have those that are having a ball. Another part of Gemini are having a ball this month. And these are those who have the Jupiter transit. And these are those who have their ascendant or their moon from 17 to 24 degrees in Gemini, or those who have their sun in those degrees, but it means they're born from the 7th till the 15th of June. They're having Jupiter transit, and Jupiter is the great benefic, benevolent. When it passes there, it makes things happen for you. If you're born from the 7th or the 15th of June, the sun, as we said, is career, is your role in life, is your opportunities can come to you connected to career, to your plans, to your goals. More confidence is infused in you, you know. And it's just the opposite of those people who are having the eclipse, you know. They're being more fearful, they're being more worried, they have to let go of something, while Jupiter brings you something, while Jupiter helps you feel more empowered and strong, and because of that you attract those good things. And also they can come from authority figures, from the government, or from male figures. The sun symbolizes all those things. If it's your ascendant and moon that Jupiter is transiting from 17 to 24 degrees in Gemini, plus minus a degree or two, then your ascendant is like you can gain clarity about your path in life, where you're headed, what you're supposed to do here. You can initiate new things, especially if your ascendant is from 70 to 24 degrees in Gemini. I would advise you start something new and wonderful, because you'll be helped. These things will prosper. Whatever you start now will tend to bring a lot of growth and confidence into your life, you know, and will tend to grow bigger and bigger into your life later, you know, with time, not just in the month of May, throughout, you know. And if it's your moon, your emotional well-being improves. You feel more delighted emotionally. You feel more happy. Maybe love life improves. Also for the ascendant people, the love life can improve. You gain clarity, as I said, about where you're supposed to be, about about the path that you're supposed to be on. You just feel more inspired, and things are clicking more easily and flowingly. You know, it's great. And time of opportunities. If opportunity comes to you during this period, don't miss them. You know, because it might be a while before Jupiter triggers your sign again. Thank you.